The Walking Dead Season 6 Part 2 days away. C-Dub and JC here from Chronocord Media to discuss the upcoming season. We do want to give you a quick spoiler warning because we will be discussing events from previous episodes, so beware of that. And make sure to subscribe and comment below the video. Give us your thoughts on the upcoming season of The Walking Dead. Safe to say that we're both really looking forward to Season 6 Part 2 of The Walking Dead. We of course were left off with the cliffhanger of the group walking through a crowd of zombies and Sam yelling, "Mommy, C-Dub, things probably will not end well."
A whole lot of questions to be answered here, as well as some loose ends to be tied up. I think one of the very first things that we can preview and talk about, JC, and perhaps hedge our bets on, is what will the very first scene be in episode 9 coming up on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Now, of course, whenever we left them, like you said, they were walking through that crowd of biters. Do you think, JC, that we're going to see the show pick right back up there, or perhaps go somewhere else and then come back to Alexandria there in the crowd trying to escape?
Now, this first scene, C-Dub, as you said, I think it's going to be showing Rick and the gang walking through the crowd. What do you think?
Well, of course, JC, we also had that preview after the last episode of The Walking Dead where Daryl, Abe, and Sasha came across some of Negan's people who stole the truck from him. We don't really know what happened there, so that's another big cliffhanger that they did leave off on, but I think you're right. I'm going to go ahead and place my bet on the first scene that we see in episode 9 is Rick and co coming out of that house covered in zombie blood and guts trying to escape.
Following up on that, how many times do you think Sam, the little kid who obviously couldn't handle the reality of all these walkers being around, how many times do you think he will say "mom" before one of the biters realizes that they are not zombies and they are in disguise? My guess would be, based on what we saw at the end of last season, I think he said it 3 or 4 times there, probably a few more after that, so my bet would be 6 moms.
Ooh, 6 moms. Good choice, JC. I am going to go with a slightly higher number. I'm going to tack on 1 more mom and make it 7 moms, because I have a feeling that Sam is really going to freak out. You could tell that he was already. Clearly, this is going to be the thing that blows their cover. I mean, Sam wouldn't even come out of the upstairs to get his precious, delicious cookies. He's got to be completely shell-shocked, and he's going to blow it for the entire group. We can only hope that little Sammy will make it out alive. And one more thing in this scene with Rick and the group walking through the crowd of biters, how many of that group that was walking through the biters, how many of them from Rick's gang will survive the walk through the crowd? JC, I'm not sure how many will survive, but I am willing to bet that we're going to see at least 2 people lose their lives in that walk. I have a feeling that we could see Gabriel go down when walking through that crowd of biters.
It's going to be tough because I definitely know that Sam's going to get it, as well as Gabriel, hopefully, and a few others. I'm going to say 5 people are attacked by the walker crowd. Ooh, here's a good one. This might be kind of easy, though. How many zombies will Rick kill by himself via any methods in episode 9? It's going to be a high number, definitely double digits. I'm going to go 14, C-Dub.
That sounds like a pretty good estimate. I completely agree with you about him getting into the double digits of the death toll. I have a feeling he's going to kill 13 people. There is, of course, a very infamous scene from the comic books that happens whenever this whole scene happens as well. Those of you who have read it already know what I'm talking about, but Rick may have to perhaps kill a fraction of a person during this attack from all the biters while they're walking. So I'm going to put my exact estimate at Rick killing 13.2 people. On to the next bet, JC. How many non-katana kills will Michonne rack up in episode 9? I think Michonne will rack up 3 zombie kills. How about you?
Non-katana kills for Michonne. My number will be 0. I think that every kill in this episode will be delivered by Old Faithful. Here's an interesting one because we have not seen any images in the previews for part 2 of season 6 of Negan. How many minutes into episode 9, if we see him at all, will we meet Negan? C-Dub, what do you think?
I have a feeling, JC, if we do meet Negan, it's going to be toward the end of episode 9. But I don't think that we're going to quite get to that just yet. We still have the issue of his followers, his soldiers with Daryl and Abe and Sasha. So they may save Negan as a big cliffhanger of some sort.
My answer here, as far as seeing Negan in the episode, will be at the very end of episode 9, 50 minutes in.
Our next question here, JC, how many flashbacks will be featured in episode 9? I'm going to put my bets and really, really hope that we get 0 flashbacks in episode 9. And hopefully for the rest of the season, I want to stay right in the action.
I hear you, man. Let's stick with 0. That will be my answer as well. Now, this is a good one. And this is, of course, becoming a cult classic catchphrase for the Walking Dead fans. How many times will Rick yell, Carl, in the second half? My answer will be quite a few, man. Gonna have to go with 12.
Ooh, going with the high number there. I like it. You know, at this point, Andrew Lincoln has to know about the Carl and the Coral memes. So, of course, you know that they're going to throw it in there just as a bit of fan service. I'm going to say he's going to say Carl, or one of the many variations, no more than 10 times in this season, but they're definitely going to start peppering that in there more often. And on to the next bet, JC. This was a big part of the first half of season 6. Morgan's transformation to a peaceful man who will not kill. How many people will Morgan spare in the second half of season 6? JC, I'm going to have to say all of them. Morgan will not kill anyone. In fact, I would be willing to bet that Morgan will not kill anyone who is still alive until he himself is taken out. I think that he is completely absolving from killing other humans. What do you think?
I agree with you, C-Dub here, but on a different premise. I believe that Morgan, he's going to get the axe, man. He's going to be killed pretty early on in the season, which will give him no opportunity to spare anyone because he'll be a goner. In a related prop bet here for The Walking Dead Season 6 Part 2, if Morgan does live, which I did not predict, how many episodes until Rick discovers and confronts Morgan about keeping the wolf alive? Gonna have to go with 3 episodes here, C-Dub.
I think you might be onto something, JC, with Morgan perhaps not surviving, and thus maybe the group doesn't find out. Certainly Rick doesn't find out until after it's too late to confront Morgan. However, with that one wolf escaping with Denise, I have to think that Rick is going to figure something out eventually, whether Morgan tells him or the group tells him or not. We do know that Carol is the one who holds the key and really knows that information. But Carol and Rick have always had a semi-strange relationship. They've withheld information from each other. So I'm thinking that Rick is going to not be able to confront Morgan about it. But I think within about 2 episodes, Rick is going to find out that Morgan let him live. And that's the reason that the guy's still there.
Now, this is a big question, of course, in the comic books. Spoiler warning, Glenn is killed by Negan via a baseball bat. I think they're going to change it up, the executive producers and the writers from the comic book on the television show, and put someone else in that place. So who will feel the wrath of Negan and his favorite weapon? My money is on Abraham. C-Dub, who is your pick?
Oh man, Abraham, that would be a big loss. I'm going to have to go with one that might not be quite as impactful as one of those main characters who's really known as a badass, but I think that the fan base will be equally devastated. I'm going to say that Eugene gets to meet old Lucille and is the first victim of Negan. And on to, of course, the guy we were just talking about, Glenn and Maggie. We do know that Maggie is with child. Will Maggie and Glenn's baby be born in season 6? JC, I'm going to have to say that we are going to see Maggie start to really feel the symptoms of pregnancy and get ready to go into labor. but I don't think the baby will be born in this season. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you there. So I don't think there's any way that the story will progress enough to where that she will be giving birth by episode 16. And this kind of relates to the next prop bet here in our Walking Dead Season 6 Part 2 preview. The over and under for this is 1 month. How many days do you think will pass in Walking Dead time in the entire Season 6 Part 2? My guess will be it'll be an over bet, 2 months, 60 days.
That sounds just about spot on to me, JC. 2 months. I am going to go with the over here. And one of the other big happenings in Season 6, Part 1, of course, Dr. Denise was taken captive by the wolf who Morgan spared his life. Will Denise escape the clutches of the wolf and any other wolves who still exist and make it back to the group and her beloved Tara? JC, I'm going to go with that's a big fat no. Denise is not going to make it long. She's a goner.
I think she will make it back to the group in one form or another, maybe in a few pieces, but I'll give her 2 episodes to stay alive. Maybe she formulates a plan to escape from the wolf. And to the final question / prop / speculation here for Season 6, Part 2 of The Walking Dead. Now, this is a huge one, C-Dub. We love Daryl. We hope he stays alive the entire season. But how many episodes into the season will he get his crossbow back? I mean, this thing is like his own personal Lucille, as we mentioned with Negan. My vote here, C-Dub, will be 5 episodes. What is your speculation?
JC, I don't think Daryl is going to get the crossbow back. And for that matter, I don't think he's going to get the motorcycle back either. I have a funny feeling that Daryl is going to run into some trouble here. I mean, hell, let's face it, he's already in trouble. He and Abraham and Sasha, whenever we left them, are face-to-face with Negan's gang. It's not going to be pretty, but I know Daryl would love to get that bike back and that crossbow, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Hopefully it does, though.
If you have any responses to our proposed prop bets here, make sure to comment below the video. We want to know what you think. Give us your predictions for Part 2 of Season 6 of The Walking Dead. It's going to be a doozy, and I don't think many people will survive, C-Dub.
It's going to be huge. There's going to be a ton of casualties, awesome excitement. We know that this second half of Season 6 is going to be great. Make sure everyone to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to Chronocord as we're going to be bringing you our reactions to each episode every week for The Walking Dead, as well as Fear the Walking Dead. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around. We always love hearing from you guys. This is going to be a great year for us, the fans. I want to thank you for watching here today. For JC, I'm C-Dub. Don't get bit, Carl.